Let's talk about a moment every gardener experiences. You walk outside, check your plants, and suddenly you see it. Leaves with holes, cluster of aphids, something clearly chewing on your crops. And the question pops into your head. Should I spray? Or what should I do? It is one of the most common questions gardeners ask, and honestly, it is also one of the most misunderstood parts of garden care. Because the truth is, spraying isn't always the best first step. In fact, sometimes spraying too quickly can actually make pest problems worse. I am Josh, from Sprout of Philippines in Yabong, Pilipinas, here for Omaha Gardener, your host for this brand new series, Garden Defense 101. So, for today's episode, we are going to talk about when spraying makes sense, when it doesn't, and how to choose safer and smarter pest control options. One of the first things experienced gardeners learn is this: seeing insects doesn't automatically mean you have a pest problem. Gardens are living ecosystems. Along with pests, there are also beneficial insects like lady beetles, lacewings, and parasitic wasps that help keep pest populations under control. If you spray immediately at the first sign of insects, you may end up killing the beneficial species that are actually helping you. Sometimes, the best move is simply to observe first. Check how widespread the damage is, look under the leaves, identify what insect is present. You might find that nature is already working on the problem for you. That said, there are times when spraying can be helpful. For example, spraying may be appropriate when pest populations are growing rapidly, plant damage is becoming severe, natural predators are not keeping up, and crops are at risk of serious loss. The key idea here is targeted action, not automatic spraying. Think of pest control like medicine. You only use it when there is a clear need. So, my advice is to start with the least aggressive option. Before reaching for stronger treatments, it's usually best to begin with the least disruptive methods, like what we have discussed in the past episodes. Often, pests can be controlled with simple steps like this: spraying plants with a strong stream of water to knock off aphids, removing pests by hand, just by picking them, pruning heavily infested leaves, encouraging beneficial insects. These methods can reduce pest populations without harming the garden. If spraying becomes necessary, many gardeners prefer low toxicity or organic pest control products. These products generally break down more quickly in the environment and are less harmful to beneficial insects when used properly. Let us look at a few commonly used options. First, we have insecticidal soap. Insecticidal soaps are widely used for controlling soft-bodied insects such as aphids, whiteflies, spider mites, and mealybugs. These soaps work by damaging the insect's outer protective layer, which causes dehydration. Because they act through direct contact, they are most effective when sprayed directly onto the pest. They also tend to have minimal impact on beneficial insects once the spray dries. However, coverage is important. You usually need to spray the undersides of the leaves where many pests hide. Next is neem oil. It is another popular option for gardeners. It is derived from the seeds of the neem tree, a plant native to parts of Asia. Neem oil works in several ways. It can disrupt insect feeding. It can interfere with insect growth and development and reduce egg laying. It is commonly used against aphids, mites, whiteflies, and certain beetles. Neem oil also has fungicidal properties, which means it may help manage issues like powdery mildew. Like insecticidal soaps, it works best when applied directly to affected plants. The next one is horticultural oils. Horticultural oils are refined oils used to control insects such as scale, mites, and aphids. They work by smothering pests and their eggs, preventing them from breeding. These oils are particularly useful during dormant seasons of fruit trees, but lighter formulations can also be used during the growing season. As with other sprays, thorough coverage is key. If you do decide to spray, timing can make a big difference. Spraying during the heat of the day can damage plant leaves, especially when using oils. Many gardeners find that the best time to spray is early morning or early evening. These times also reduce the chance of harming pollinators like bees, which are more active during the day. Avoid spraying flowers whenever possible, since pollinators often visit those areas. You should always follow label instructions. Even products labeled as organic or natural should be used carefully. Always read and follow the instructions on the product label. This includes proper dilution rates, application timing, safety precautions when using the pesticide. Using too much product or spraying too frequently can harm the plants and disrupt beneficial insect populations. Responsible use helps maintain the balance in your garden. As what we have discussed throughout this series, many gardeners today follow a strategy called Integrated Pest Management, often shortened to IPM. This approach combines multiple methods of pest control, including prevention through healthy soil and resistant varieties, monitoring pest populations, encouraging beneficial insects, using physical and cultural controls, and applying targeted treatments only when necessary. The goal is not to eliminate every insect, but to keep pest levels manageable while protecting the garden ecosystem. It is a balanced, thoughtful approach to gardening. So to end, I want to remind you that whenever you see a pest in your garden, pause for a moment before reaching for a spray. Take a closer look at what's happening in your garden and ask yourself, is the damage severe? Are beneficial insects present? Can the problem be solved with a simpler method? Those things. Because sometimes spraying is the right move, but often the smartest pest control strategy is a combination of observation, patience, and targeted action. Because a healthy garden isn't about eliminating insects. It is about creating a system where the right balance under control. And when that balance is working, your garden can thrive with a lot less intervention. In the next episode, we will wrap up this series. So, if you know someone who could benefit from this series, feel free to share it with them, because gardening is always better when we learn from each other and when we grow healthier gardens together. Until next time, keep observing, keep experimenting, and keep learning along the way. This is Josh for Omaha Gardener in this series, Garden Defense 101. And remember, if you grow it, you know it.